What's happening, guys? Today's another day on the channel, and today we are working on something that you guys all love, and that is the Miata. So we're going to be in here working on this thing today. First off, we're going to try to change out this cam angle sensor. If the cam angle sensor does not fix it, then we're kind of asked out of luck, and we got to try to figure out what's going on. Obviously, I'm going to get the right relay for these injectors, but the main reason we're changing this cam angle sensor is because it wasn't sparking. So once we can get it to spark, where it should fire up pretty much, because this jumper is all set, so it should just start up. So ooh, I just pushed this thing inside, and it is not light, but it's not heavy either. So we're gonna try to get this cam angle sensor in here right now without taking the valve cover off. We will take the valve cover off tonight and change out those cams if we can get it started. If we cannot, then we're just gonna kind of wait and see what's going on. But we need this thing to run actually, because the truck is actually pretty broken right now. So I need to drive this tonight to get it home, and I gotta fix the truck tomorrow. The fuel line on the back of the head is leaking really bad, so I want to fix that. Diesel fuel doesn't ignite like regular gasoline, so it isn't super bad to let it leak onto like exhaust and stuff like that, but you shouldn't leave it for a really long time, because if it does pool after a long time, the headers do get really hot and it could ignite it. So we're trying to get that fixed, so we need this car to run. So let's go ahead and take out this cam angle sensor now and get it to get in there. Okay, so this is the brand new one. Change the O-ring right here out. I'm actually gonna see if we have one here that I can change that out to like a perfect brand new one, but change that out. This is the old one here. So look at this connector. I wonder why this thing wasn't working. And then that's what the connector is supposed to look like. So let's go ahead, pop this new one in and see if it starts up. The biggest thing is the timing parts. So I looked at this one, which just came out, and this one has the timing mark right there. The connector's up there. Got to look at the little edge right here. That's the biggest point right there. So we're gonna try to pop this one in and it should work. Oh, you know what else? If you look at this here, I think it's supposed to have an extra piece like this one, and it's all ground down. So maybe that's what's happening there. I don't know, guys. We're gonna see. We're gonna plug this thing back in and we're gonna see what's going on. So let's go ahead, plop it in a car, and see if we can get it to run now. So we put in the cam sensor yesterday, and that didn't end up working for the car. So I started digging into the wiring a little bit more, trying to figure out what's going on with this thing. The power for the cam angle sensor, for the injectors, and for the coil packs basically all get it from this same relay that keeps blowing out, which is this one, the IGN. So could be the, where the heck is it? It's fuel injector. So from the fuel injector, that relay there is the one that controls like half of this engine. So there's a problem going on with that, so we have to dig into that. But what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna pull these cams out, because I'm sick and tired of having these cams in there, and we need to get those in there for when we get this whole swap done. So let's go ahead, pull this valve cover off, take the intake and stuff off, possibly take out the radiator, and take out the cams, untime the motor and everything, and then redo everything, put it all back together tonight. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we're almost ready to get this thing out. So I got all of this off in like maybe 10-15 minutes. It's not hard to work on a Miata at all. You don't actually need to take the radiator off. You just got to kind of know where all the bolts are. So you take off the valve cover, then you take off the front cover. It's got 4 up here. Then down here it's got 1. Take the water pump pulley off. Then you go down, you take off the crank pulley, and then you take all the bolts off down there, and then it exposes all the timing right there. To put this thing to top dead center, I don't know if it's cylinder 1, 2, 3, or 4, kind of doesn't matter. Then what we're gonna do is we're going to start disassembling this. So we're gonna take off this bolt here. That one stays in place. We're gonna pull the timing belt off. We're gonna take the cams out. We're gonna swap the cam gears. I have a different cam gear for this side right here. And then what we're going to do is we're gonna put the cams back in. We're gonna put the old cam angle sensor back in because this cam angle sensor doesn't need to be in here, and I can use that money to go buy another part. And then what we're going to do is just reassemble it, and then we'll keep diving into what's going on with this no start. We have new cam seals right here behind each one of these. Do not have a new timing belt, but this timing belt isn't that bad. So we're gonna leave this timing belt on it, and yeah, should be okay. And another reason why I don't want to change this timing belt is because then we have to take the coolant system off and we got to bleed it again. So it's kind of just already there, so we're just going to leave it. So let's go ahead, take this timing off, and then we'll be right back with putting it back together-ish. So guys, we are here, and what we're doing is, I haven't really filmed that much because I was on the phone with my mother and we were brainstorming some ideas and some of the stuff that I'm trying to do with the channel and with the designs and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to try to have some really cool designs for you guys in the new year, and for some stickers later on in the summertime, possibly some t-shirts and stuff like that. But we got the cams in, both of them are switched out. The exhaust, the intake side is all done. I put the old cam angle sensor back in because that wasn't our problem. We'll either put the new cam angle sensor in, or we'll just bring it back and we'll see what else, other parts we can get with that money, so we can put something else onto this car. The exhaust cam is right there. We're going to throw that back on because it's about time to do that. We're going to put our valve cover on, put our timing back together, and this car should be back together to the point where we're going to have to start diagnosing wiring again. What I ended up figuring out and having a thought of is that maybe the ECU isn't getting power, so the ECU not getting power won't have the vehicle start. So with that being said, if the ECU isn't getting power, then we could run a wire from the battery in the back of the car all the way to the front, or we could try to run a wire from the 80 amp fuse in the front of the vehicle in the harness right there in this fuse box to the inside of the car, which is right underneath the fuse box, to the ECU, and have it have 12 volts with a key on. So when we do that, everything should work, but that's if the vehicle isn't getting 12 volts to the ECU. If that isn't the problem, then we have to continue to diagnose and figure out what's going on. But let's go ahead and finish up what we're doing with these cams. Okay, so we got the timing all set up. Got the bottom one on right here. Cam gears all set. Timing marks all lined up down on the bottom and everything. You can't see the bottom one because the cover's on there, but timing marks are up here. Timing marks on the bottom. We're getting this bottom cover on. I blew all the old oil that was leaking from this exhaust cam gear out, and that's all done. So now we're going to go ahead and finish up with this install, and yeah, gotta go get an engine hoist and bring it back to my buddy because I used it for the SR to pull that out. So we're gonna go do that in a minute right after we're done with this. So let's go ahead and finish this up. So after getting the engine back together, trying to start it, I think I might have timed it wrong because it's not sounding that great. I don't think the battery voltage is actually super high either. But coming inside in here, I plugged the ECU back in, and our main power for the ECU is this red and white one right here at the end. Oh man, I'm not even filming it. At the main power is this red and white one right here at the end where my thumb is, and this does not have power. So the ECU isn't getting power, telling everything else to turn on. So that is a good starting point to figuring this out. So we need to figure out why it's not getting power and then make it get power so then it will actually turn the rest of the computer on. We could try to put 12 volts to it and then see if the car starts. But what I would like to do is I would like to just kind of figure out where that white and red wire goes, but we're going to do that in another video. The engine is back together up here like I just said. Everything's good. I resealed the valve cover. I was hoping that I timed it right, and I kind of hope I did, but I mean, could be a little bit off, could be something else. The other cams were very different. So my main problem with these cams were that looking at the difference between them two, there really wasn't, except for one had a 2 instead of a 1, and one had a the numbers on them were the exact same. So I don't know if the HKS were factory cams, same size, but just like hardened steel or something like that. But we changed them out and they're factory cams now, so hopefully it'll all start. I don't know, maybe the cam angle sensor is also off. Actually, let's see where that is. It is. It's like almost completely down to one side, so that could be our problem right there too. So moving this up and down could change how it goes, so we could do that. But like I said, we're gonna get out of here for today, and we're gonna go drop off that engine hoist to my friend, and that's gonna be it. So we're gonna end the video here, and if you guys liked the video, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, comment, share, do all the good stuff. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Hopefully we can have this thing running. I will be going to Connecticut, so it won't be very many Miata or any of that kind of content for a little while, but hopefully we can have some cool things going on, and that's about it. See you guys later.